All right, it is a Grimdark feature firefight. My craft ship High Elves against some Rebel Guerrillas. It's a 400 point battle. So it's the first in-person battle of the year. You know, I like playing online if I have to, but I much prefer to be in person. So it's really good to get my first opportunity to go up to the game shop, play some games in person. 400 points, 3 objectives. Let's look at my army lists. So for me, I'm running a Temple Master. I've got the Shield of Grace, which is the regen, 2 Storm Guardians, 3 Banshees, 3 Dire Avengers, a Dragon, and I've got a Spider as well, who'll be ambushing. For my opponent, she's bringing a Simian Champion, so a pretty elite list. So Simian Champion with Massive Fists, got the Rending upgrade on them. 2 elites, one with a heavy weapon, one with the medical training. So she'll also be handing out her regens. 2 Simians with the Rending in melee upgrade, and a Chelonian with that wrist GL. So that's that blast weapon. That is, and then also just the wrist blade himself. That Chelonian 333 is also super tough. An elite army, but also, so I definitely outnumber her. But these are some tough guys. All right, so let's just look at my army. My 3 Dire Avengers. You see my Storm Guardians, Banshees, and then I'm using the Asherman as my Temple Master. For her, you've got the 3 green models. The 2 with the hammers are the Simians, and you see the other model that has kind of the model has like a wrist gun and then a weapon, so that's the Chelonian, and then the 2 purples are the elites. One of her models, the one that doesn't have a hand, the purple, broke off. So the heavy weapon person, the model doesn't is armless, and then the one with the gun is the one with the carbine and medical training. So just looking at the battlefield, you could just see we ended up just setting up the objectives, one in the center, and then the 2, one on each of our sides. And yeah, it's a pretty good objective. So you can see I set up sort of towards the left where I've got my Banshees behind there. A lot of people in the buildings just to avoid some long range firepower. And then towards the far right, I've got a Banshee, Dire Avenger, and a Storm Guardian. For her, she's got her heavy weapon and her Chelonian towards the behind the red, and she actually put the rest of her models in this kind of this building to sort of protect from shooting. So we're both playing pretty cagey, trying to protect our units. All right, turn 1, she does get to go first. The first thing that we're doing here, I'm sorry, we're actually handing out our regens. So I put my regen on my Banshees and put it on a Storm Guardian. And then she puts her regens. I didn't take a picture of that, but she spreads her regens around. So first thing is she just rushes up that Simian to the center to get by the objective. I just rush up one of my Storm Guardians. She actually just holds, so she plays pretty cagey here. Just holds with one of our other Simians. I just rush up my Storm Guardian. Does another hold action. I just rush up here. She actually holds again. So she's playing, just kind of protecting her units right there. I just move up as well. So I'm just getting my guys right in front of the objective. She does another hold here. I rush my Banshee into the forest to the far left. That's the one with the regen. She moves out her elite with a heavy weapon, shoots at my Banshee with the regen. Does end up doing 1 wound, which stuns the Banshee. I actually then just rush up my other Banshee. They got that Strider, so they're able to get into the woods. And then I actually rush my 3rd Banshee around the other building. And then I move up. My Dire Avenger actually just moves around that building, grabs that objective. And then the last thing I do is I bring my leader. He just rushes up to the center with the rest of the squad. So yeah, that's the end of the first turn here. So I took 1 little casualty. Luckily, the Banshee did survive. And you can see I sort of pushed over. She's really playing pretty defensive. So we'll see how that goes. And the next thing, that's just the other side of the board. You can see I pressed it pretty aggressively. I was able to effectively grab that center objective here. That's just another picture. Yeah, and that's just on her side. You can see here she's playing pretty passive and pretty cagey. But yeah, so it's just some pictures. All right, turn 2, she does get to go first. I do bring in my Spider, so This is just me handing out the regen, so I put it on one of the Banshees, and then I bring my Spider in just with the rest of the units, and I put it on the Spider and the other Banshee. This is her handing out her regen, so she puts one on the Simian. I think she puts it two other places with it. So the first thing is that her Simian around the corner charges my Banshee, does one wound even through the regen, because the regen basically is ignored, but only stuns the Banshee. I then send my leader, so he comes around the corner and charges, does one wound into the Simian, doesn't take any wounds back. The heavy weapon moves up and shoots at the Banshee, but no wounds through. Basically, with cover and regen, the Banshee survives. So good on me. So the Banshee on the far left that was standing, that just got shot at, I decide to just get towards the center again. So I rush her towards the center. I don't want him bringing that Chelonian with that blast weapon. I don't want that Chelonian moving out and blasting, hitting both of the Banshees. So she just rushes to the center. More holding for the elite. I just stand at my Banshee, who is wounded. She rushes her Simian up to the Banshee. I take one of my Storm Guardians and charge that heavy weapon elite. Actually get 2 wounds, and she fails both of her armor and regen. So I actually do 2 wounds and I stun that elite. She takes her, so this is her Simian leader, charges that Storm Guardian, does 4 wounds into it, but rolls a 1 for the injury. So the Storm Guardian's actually alive. I then move up my Fire Dragon. I shoot at her Simian leader, but I miss. So this is, I didn't take a picture, but her Chelonian moves up and shoots the Fire Dragon and basically hits 4 people. So that Fire Dragon, and there's 3 other people. So it basically hits 4 models. Wounds the Fire Dragon and the Avenger. Doesn't kill either of them. The other, so he hits those 4 models. The Guardian and the Red Dire Avenger pass their armor saves, but that blast weapon was pretty good hitting 4 models. My Dire Avenger just moves up and shoots the Simian. I don't do any wounds. And then the Spider goes over here, shoots and does 2 wounds and stuns the Simian. I then have my other Dire Avenger just move up and shoots the Simian to do a wound and take him off the field. I have my Dire Avenger that got wounded, stands up. And also the Banshee that was hit by the Simian also stands up. And then this Storm Guardian actually just rushes to the objective. I don't really want to charge his guys in hand-to-hand because they can just do damage. So, yeah. That's just a recap. So she was playing pretty cagey, but she's kind of coming out of her and sort of claimed to the center. And, yeah, I've been lucky with the injury roll. She's rolled really bad on injury rolls. So, yeah, luckily I don't have any models dead yet. She does get to go first. So, this is her regions. So, she's bringing out the regions. So she puts ones on the elite. And I think she puts them on the Simian as well and her leader. Yeah, that's just showing the regions as well on the Simian. This is my regen, so I put it on the Spider and the Banshee, and then I put it on both of the Banshees and the Spider on that side. All right, and yeah, she puts one on her Simian leader and on the Chelonian. Okay, she gets to go, and then she puts her other regen on that Simian. All right, so this is a big deal. She's really trying to, she moves up that Chelonian and shoots that grenade launcher, but she misses. That's a really big deal because that was hitting another 3 or 4 people. So that was a quality 3. I was really lucky that she missed with that Chelonian. I go ahead and just charge my wounded Banshee into the Chelonian. I don't do any wounds, and she ends up doing 2 wounds to the Banshee. But again, a bad wound roll. She only gets a 2 on it. So it's only stunned Banshee, even with 3 wounds. The leader, Simian leader, charges the Dire Avenger, does 6 wounds and kills the Dire Avenger, and then consolidates on the objective. I stand up my Fire Dragon. That's the elite in the corner. Moves out and shoots at the wounded Storm Guardian, but both shots miss. So that's that elite by the building. Has a 2-shot carbine, but misses both. So the Storm Guardian that's stunned is actually still alive. That Storm Guardian that is on the other side of the building, that was on the objective on the left, charges that stunned elite with the heavy weapon and takes him out. The Simeon on the far left charges the stunned Banshee and takes the Banshee out and then consolidates closer. The Storm Guardian that has 4 wounds stands up. And then at this point, this is just me showing moves. So both of the Devour Avengers move closer to the center. Both shoot at the Simeon leader, but don't wound. And then the Spider basically teleports on top of the building and shoots at the leader and gets 2 wounds. So that leader is 6 wounds. That leader's a tough cookie to crack, but at least I got 2 wounds on him. And finally, the Banshee charges, but the Banshee misses. But also the leader, the Banshee misses, but he doesn't hit the Banshee because he's fatigued. And then my Temple Master charges the leader. I do 1 wound, and finally, the final Banshee charges the Chelonian, but also misses. So just kind of some whiffs all around. Luckily, the Chelonian doesn't hit my Banshee for being fatigued. So that's good. This is just a recap. You can see we're sort of all in the mix now. He's got his leader. The Simeon leader is up to 3 wounds now. I think my Temple Master got 1 wound, 1 more wound on that leader, but still 3 wounds left. We're sort of all contesting the objective. It may come down to the center, but we'll see. So that's just showing her side, and that's just sort of an up view where there's just a lot going on. And turn 4, she does get to go again. And this is doling out the regens. So the regens are on the Chelonian, the Simeon, and the Simeon leader. I put it on the dragon, the Banshee, 2 of the Banshees and the dragon. Okay. Her Simeon leader charges my Temple Master. We trade 2 wounds apiece, actually. She does 2 wounds to me, but I do 2 wounds back into the Simeon leader. And then, so I didn't take a separate picture, but basically my Fire Dragon shoots at the Simeon leader but misses again. So that Fire Dragon is missed all the time. So the Chelaxian shoots but misses again. Yeah, shoots at this Banshee. Was possibly going to hit another 4 models, but misses. So that's 2 times in a row that Chelaxian's with that miss, which is great. That Banshee then charges the Simeon leader, does 1 more wound and stuns him. So that's good. That elite with the carbine moves around the corner, shoots at the Banshee, does 1 wound and stuns her. The Storm Guardian that has 4 wounds, that actually was hit by the Simeon leader to go ahead and just charges the leader and removes the Simeon leader from play. Then her Simeon charges my leader, does a 3rd wound, and then kills him. Yeah, and then consolidates. So she actually could move here. She consolidates so that sort of blocking me from rushing to that objective in the far left corner. So she's managed to claim that objective. It's really just coming down to this Simeon who is contesting this center here. So I basically got to kill that Simeon to win the game, or else it's a tie. So first thing is I move both of my Avengers up and they go ahead and shoot, but I end up getting 2 wounds on that Simeon, and then it's just really down to the Spider. The Spider moves up, shoots the Simeon, but between the regen and his armor save, he lives. So that single Simeon is contesting the center objective, and then both of us have 1 objective apiece. And it is a 1-1 tie. Really close game. Great way to start out 2024. But as I said, nothing like in-person gaming. So I had a blast. Just some learning points. Man, Blast is a great weapon to bring to Firefight. I may start bringing some Blast weapons. They're just super good. I like that it's a good balance between multiple models and an elite army. I think that if she would have hit a couple more times with that Blast weapon, it easily could have gone a different way. The injury rolls were also pretty big in this game. She had some pretty good rolls, I had some bad rolls. She had some bad rolls, but it was also that her injury rolls were really bad. And that's the thing about Firefight. you know, if you have some bad injury rolls, it really can change the game. I'm glad I brought a deadly weapon, my Fire Dragon, even though it basically missed the entire game. So, thanks for watching. Always interested in feedback. Like, subscribe, comment, and if you're in Austin, join the Austin Alternative Gaming Freaks. Thanks so much.